Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and start the meeting. Roll call, we have everyone here except for Jet and Chantel.
Oh, okay.
I need to do a motion.
Okay.
No, we're good. All right, if we can, let's pledge a flag, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Did everyone get an opportunity to take a look at the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Do we have any questions or comments?
Move to accept as written?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. I don't think we have any old business or new business at this point in time, so we're going to go jump right into which one?
Meeny.
Kim.
It was in my, somebody put it in my.
I'll give recreation. Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm Christine right now. I'm giving her a report. So we have a photo here that's up, and it shows the Special Needs Field Day that was held on October 2nd. She said it was a great success. They had about 200 participants, activity sponsors, and loads of fun. Lindsay Pritchard did a fantastic job in coordinating and implementing. So they had a really good event. I don't know if there was...
Did it rain at all? When I drove by, it wasn't raining.
It did not.
Oh, good.
Can you identify the gentleman in the lower right?
Identity is protected.
That was
You
the
see?
most fun that gentleman
you
had all day.
Probably.
I don't know. He looks like he's having fun. Special,
Yeah, that screen doesn't show the same thing as all the other screens.
here, and I made copies of this to hand out. It's Special Needs Community Engagement Meeting will be held October 27th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at Preston Ridge Community Center. They're looking for input on what is needed in their community for recreation services and exploring the concept of recreational adult day program.
Oh, good idea.
The event will be in conjunction with the North Fulton Special Needs Task Force. That includes Milton, Johns Creek, Roswell, and Ed Isaacson YMCA. So please come, give input.
May I jump in real quick?
Absolutely.
For the new members on the commission, all the entities agreed before COVID that we were all going to have a community engagement meeting about special needs. And so everybody got to have theirs except ours. Ours was scheduled the week that we got shut down. So this is now basically 2 years later that we're hosting this. And I just realized literally when you said the date that we have a conflict because that's the night of our recreation workshop. And this was set by the Special Needs Task Force. So I apologize for that. I don't know if we could maybe combine those two meetings, or if you want to reschedule the workshop, or certainly, whatever y'all want to do. But, it'd be hard for us to change the date of this meeting because it's already out there in the public.
Well, I think we'll wait a little bit closer and see what we have for
Okay.
workshop. And if we
Okay.
can do it, just email or whatever, if we, something pressing, we can do it that way. But I don't think we can reschedule this.
Special events coming up in recreation. Saturday the 23rd, they have Boo Bash at Worlds Park Recreation Center at 6 p.m. So costumes, fun, come on out for hayride. Wednesday, October 27th, 3:30 to 6:30, they have the Halloween Bash in Low Country Boyle. Sounds pretty good. I like Boyle. Adult Activity Center and a costume contest and pumpkin decorating there. Saturday, October 30th, 10 to 12, they have Halloween crafts and treats at the Alpharetta Community Center. So a lot of Halloween festivities going on. Any questions? Anything, Rec?
Can I ask the community engagement, this is aimed at adults or aimed at children with special needs or the entire population?
The entire population.
Okay, thank you.
It's just there's one portion of that they're talking about, an adult program during the day.
Thank you.
All right. Community Services Division, I'm Amanda now, I'm shifting into that mode. Special events, the Scarecrows are up, and I personally have a love for the Scarecrows also, and they are doing the People's Choice Award. It'll take place from 10/8 to 10/17, so please vote for your favorite. Season of Celebration is coming up very soon.
Is that a Facebook voting event? Is that how that's handled?
I think so.
Yes, I
Is it
think you post a selfie,
with
you're
your
supposed to
scarecrow?
post a selfie with your scarecrow, and that counts as your vote.
Online? Okay.
But if you wanted to tell
Is there
me,
another option for voting besides?
I'm sure if you wanted to email me or Amanda,
Okay,
we would accept that.
thank you.
If you're looking for one to vote for, I just put that one up just to
Oh,
put it out there in your mind.
That's great.
What?
That's
In
great.
front of the Cultural Arts Center, I
It's-
bet.
I had to put that up there since we're talking about it. Season of Celebration for their events, there's going to be Fridays, December 3rd, 10th, and 17th. A variety of activities will take place every Friday, ranging from falling snow, photos with Santa, caroling, and beautiful photo backdrops for families to take photos. Wire and Wood, it was a success, and I think I'll leave that one up. Do you want to talk about that, Morgan, Wire and Wood?
I can. Everybody knows Wire Wood's kind of special in my heart. And it could not have been a better weekend than this past weekend, Friday and Saturday. I mean, everything came together. First and foremost, the talent that we had was just outstanding both nights. And there was all genres. There was jazz, there was the traditional country, there was everything in between. And then there was Brer Crimmins and the Hookers, who you can't put in a genre. That literally kind of stole the show for me. But it was a great weekend, and the music was good. We didn't have any issues. The police said no reports, nothing out of the ordinary. Largest crowd I've ever seen in downtown Alpharetta was on Saturday night. It was just absolutely packed. We didn't do any food trucks this year, and the restaurants just absolutely loved it. Just absolutely loved it.
How bad were the lines on Friday?
Yeah, if you wanted to sit down in a restaurant, you probably had 35 to 45-minute wait.
But
And if you wanted to take something with you, it was 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Sharinga had that
Yeah.
special, some of them had
a lot of them had special menu items, where you could take, or you could call up. So we really didn't get any feedback that anybody missed the food trucks as much as the restaurants. I will tell you, the owner of Coalition is a friend of mine. Spoke with him afterwards. He said Friday night he set a record. Best night he'd ever had was Friday night. Saturday night broke Friday night's record. So he had the two best nights he's had since he's opened were Friday and Saturday night. So the restaurants, I think that's very.
They had no trouble with all that noise right outside their door?
No. So Coalition didn't
Yeah.
have any problems because this time they were in front of the stage. During Brew Moon Fest, they were the backstage they said they were the backstage restrooms for the event. So us moving that stage past Canton Street and putting it in front of the animal hospital made all the difference in the world. It brought that side of that street into the fold. So they were real happy with it. No, we didn't get any complaints on the music, on the sound or the noise. So it was a great weekend, and of course, we get a lot of the accolades, but between Public Works and Public Safety doing all the work behind the scenes, it was just phenomenal. It was just a phenomenal weekend. So I don't know what
Mother
else I
Nature
can
was
say.
cooperating too. That was beautiful. Those nights were beautiful.
They were beautiful. I was telling a couple of you when you were coming in is that if I could have a year ago written down the kind of weather I'd like to have for Wire and Wood, that would have been exactly what I would have liked. So it was good. It was good.
One thing I was going to say is that I think that you make a good point, that restaurants, to avoid the wait, you can take something to go. You could almost take something off of what we do for Taste of Alpharetta, but for the restaurants, just a suggestion.
Yes.
That, I don't want to wait, or I do want to wait 30 minutes, but I have an option to get a variety of menu items right there. And I think, you know, that is frustrating. If you're hungry, you need to eat something, and there's nowhere to go.
Well, if you missed it, you missed a wonderful weekend. I was there Friday and Saturday.
Saturday.
Both nights, huh? You're hardcore, buddy.
I'm
I know,
hardcore when I
you're
start.
hardcore.
But it was a lot of fun, and as Morgan said, the music was just fantastic. The last band that played, and I forget the name of them,
Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors.
they were terrific. So it was, and the Town Green, you couldn't move on that most of Friday or Saturday night. So it was just, of course, you got hit in the head with football most of the night.
Yeah.
That
Incoming.
was a little problem, but other than that, it was fantastic, so.
It's a good night.
How about the parking at the hotel? Because that
Yeah,
was kind of something
I didn't,
new and
I saw
slow.
what they did. I never saw any cars coming or going.
So there weren't any major issues with that. There was a couple of, the only couple of issues that I know of was that when hotel guests pulled up, because they had to work their way around and come in the back, that on two different instances, a hotel guest got frustrated with the hotel guest in front of them taking too long to unload their luggage and was blowing the horn. That was the only problem we have.
Okay.
We do have a follow-up meeting with all of the players involved scheduled for, I think, the first week of November. And one of the main things we're going to talk about is that what are we going to do with the hotel? We're not, to be honest with you, we're not real comfortable with keeping that road open, and it showed this weekend they really didn't need that road open. So I think we'll probably talk about that as to whether or not they can just turn around in their space and go back out the same way. Because that took a lot of effort to keep that road open, even if it was just out. So
Well, and I have to say, too, there were many times when we crossed the street, everybody spread all the way across that road thinking that there would be no traffic. And so if somebody was leaving the hotel,
So-
they could have clipped somebody pretty easy because the pedestrians were all the way across Milton Avenue. Like
So it
they
was a
weren't.
good, I think it was a good learning experience for us. Between Brew Moon Fest a couple of weeks ago and now Wire and Wood, we've got enough now, I think, to sit down with them and, not with just with them, but with Public Safety and Public Works and put together a plan that works for everybody. So it was a good weekend. It put Alpharetta really, it put us in a good place. Just so you know, Channel 5, Paul Milliken came out and he did 4 remotes from the Town Green Friday morning. So we got a lot of good publicity on it, and just made, I think one of the reasons I like it is it just puts us in a good light. It puts the city in a good light.
They have trouble with people parking all over the place around town, or not so bad? No complaints?
No. You know, because the church lots are there, and now Innovation Academy lots there. So I really didn't hear, Cheryl, any complaints about parking. You know, and I know enough that if you don't get here early enough, don't try to park in the garage, because you get stuck in the garage for 30 minutes to find out there's no parking, and you have to work your way back. But no, we didn't have any, you know, people, kind of like with Taste of Alpharetta, people find a place to park. So,
Saturday night, the parking lots behind the church, well, the old funeral home, and then the church were packed. They were full. You had to park down behind the Methodist church building itself.
Yep.
If you wanted to, you know, walk up.
and that's just not that far. It's not as far as people
Too
think.
far from me, Morgan.
No.
As a new member to the Methodist Church, thank you.
Great. Moving on to marketing, and the department, marketing's currently very busy with requests from divisions for classes, events, and sports, and we all know it's very busy right now. So we thank the marketing department right now. We know they're doing a lot of work. That's my addition to her report, by the way. All things are moving full force. People are coming back, which is great. Couch to 5K was successful in signing up 43 people, and they had 10 last year. So Emily and the rec team increased the marketing efforts. Added additional graphics and banners with signage and registration with the QR code. So it sounds like that was effective this year. So current events and activities being supported by marketing. I'm not going to list out all those events, but there's a lot of them. And I think you had it in the packet. So there's a lot of events in October, but it's a lot of support from the marketing team and they're doing a great job. Community agriculture, annual membership harvest picnic was on 10/2, and about 50 people attended. It was a quintessential community event, and Jit's not here, but she thanks him for attending and helping to direct the grilling. I saw a photo of him on Facebook, actually, grilling. Is that on Facebook, or was that right? I don't know. Yeah. The community agriculture, they're going to be doing in 2022, member renewal opens for current members on November 1st. And they welcome new members on November 8th. So it's a pretty quick turnaround, sounds like. 2 new elements to the program this year, the Cut Flower program, which will distribute flower bulbs, tubers, I don't know what a tuber is, but seeds and seedlings 3 times per year, similarly to the vegetable program we're currently offering. All 2022 members will also become North Fulton Young Farmer members. It's possible that the North Fulton Young Farmer chapter may be the largest or second largest in the state. Wow. Pretty cool. The Community Agriculture Advisory Board has been reviewed and will begin meeting monthly on October 20th. And then grant applications for Food Wellness Alliance City Agricultural Plan are due 10/15. So that's tomorrow, yeah.
10/15.
10/15?
Right.
Yeah, she's-
Friday, that's right.
She's got all her
She's,
stuff.
yeah. If awarded to Alpharetta, it would mean a comprehensive plan developed with Atlanta Regional Commission and a $75,000 grant. We applied in 2008, but it was awarded to East Point. So hopefully we get that. All right, now moving on to cultural services.
Now you're yourself.
Is that myself now? I don't sound like I'm just reading, so. I tried to read through that, and it's my first time representing the 3 of us, so it's just kind of hard. You gotta get in that flow, When it's your own work, it's a little different on there. I wanted to hand out, I handed these out last meeting, but we may have adjusted a couple of them, items, so please share. This weekend, we are still celebrating October, which is that happening?
I don't know why it's doing that.
Is it on my end, or?
I think it's in you.
Keep going.
Just happened.
You're like, keep going?
It
The
just-
wire and wood guy's locked upstairs.
That's why this room's gonna be closed during the month of December, and all of this is gonna get redone.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay.
Whole system.
Please come out. We have Act 1 is doing Shakespeare in the Park, Friday and Saturday night. It's free. It's behind the community center, and you can sprawl out in the lawn. You can bring a picnic and watch Shakespeare. It's The Tempest this weekend. We also have the Alpharetta and Old Milton County Historical Society asked me to hand these out. They're calling it a reopening of the log cabin that was moved from across the street. Renovations. They had a grand opening planned and COVID hit and they had to cancel it. So they're calling this a reopening. It's from 10 to 2, and if you can, please come out and enjoy that this Saturday. They'd love to see you. You can go to the farmer's market, run on over, and then see the log cabin if you'd like to do those. Let's see. The New Georgia Woman Project, it's Black Women Speak. Cheryl, I sent you the
Yes, I did ask because of the race relations dialogue people, so thank you. And I got your email. I guess the tickets are free.
They're free. It's a penny. They're just trying to keep up some social distancing and know how many people will be attending. And it's open dialogue, and they'll have basically an administrator and kind of have conversations during that time. So please come out. I think, let's see.
It doesn't say.
These are the remainder of the music match performances for the year. If it says to be determined, that means the producer is still scheduling the musician. But we have the date booked at a location, but we just don't have the musician confirmed. If you want to look on the live music site, just look up Alpharetta Live Music. It's on the Alpharetta Convention and Visitors Bureau site. We keep that up to date, and also it kind of runs me into this. We actually have our new webpage for cultural services, and I wanted to share that with you. I'm probably most excited about that because that's finally really representing what we're doing and what the whole team is doing. So I wanted to just, if you don't mind, flip-flop. We launched this, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We launched this about a week and a half ago, and we actually have arts and culture. And each one of these tiles represents arts, history, music, and performances, and get involved. So if you click on, say, history, for example, you can come down and it'll show you the log cabin, the history museum. If you go to learn local history, it'll show you, you can watch the farmhouse, same farmhouse documentary. You can go to Alpharetta Stories, which is over 80 interviews with local historians.
That is something.
That's great.
Each one's been marked. We spent a lot of time, George Jones will be appropriate. He was one of the builders of the log cabin, but each one's been marked by, I don't know if it's going to show up here, by subjects. They spend a lot of time doing that. But back to the overview on the website, we're just so excited about this because we feel like we've been kind of telling people about this, putting it on paper, sharing it, and now they can go somewhere and look. We have our guides, we have our classes, and then we have, look at this, this is what I'm super excited about, the calendar. Michael Riddle spent a lot of time with us working on this, and he did a lot of innovative things. We embedded the Facebook page, which that was already done on the other overall department site. But we also, if you scroll down here, we have a lot of cultural events and partnerships with people that are one-off items. And we're embedding our Instagram page down at the bottom, which allows us to share the most recent 15 upcoming events. I don't even really share this with you on the report. These are things that we're doing outside the report. So if you just want a one-off item to take someone to, you can scroll down here and look at those. So go in there, look around, and that's it.
Kim, what's that website?
It's on the city, and you
Just City of
go
Alpharetta.
City of Alpharetta, Arts and Culture. I know Cindy's happy about it.
It's awesome. Looks great, Kim. Great job.
How are we doing for enrollment in program? Are people coming out, or are they still COVID-ing it away?
We're actually doing pretty well.
Good.
I would say we're probably about 75%.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good.
75, a little bit more for some classes. Like if it's a ceramics class, those are full immediately.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we're doing really well.
So we're almost.
Okay. Any questions for Kim? Thank you.
So I'd like to, well, hang on. I'd just like to officially commend. That it? Just officially commend Kim for staying after the website and all that. I mean, that's not an easy task when the person we're working for is doing the whole city, and to be able to take that and see it through in the amount of time that you did. My hat's off to you, but we really needed that because, you know, when we're talking about the visual arts and the arts, and people go to the page and it's not exciting and it's not robust and it doesn't take you to where you want to go, they lose interest very quickly. So, you know, it was a lot of work, and if you get a chance, go on there because you'll learn something. I promise you, if you go in and just spend 10 or 15 minutes just going through it, having a little fun with the website. So thanks, Kim. Job well done. Now, of course, that puts the rest of everybody else on notice that, you know, we've got to do the same things throughout the department with that, you know. But, you know, if I had to pick one that needs to have the robust look, it would be the arts program. They need that. So they're leading the way, and we appreciate it.
Kim, isn't she great? Yeah. Let's give it up for her. How about it? And you didn't do too bad representing the other ones as well. I'll give them a good report on you. So. So I'm going to do a brief report on park services. Now, we don't have pictures, we're boring and so forth. One of those pictures is you had to be there, you know. Ours is you got to go there. Really want to see the impact, go there and see what we're doing. And I'll be glad to take you on a tour anytime you want. Let's see, on project management side, on the park development, I am happy to hand over the reins to Eric Milley to operations. We're basically completed the renovations of that, waiting on one thing, which is the fencing.
Wait, what are you doing here again?
So what?
Weren't you here last month? Did you draw the short
No,
straw
I
twice?
wasn't, unless I talked like I was from Boston.
No.
No, Eric was here last month.
Okay.
Matt was supposed to be here. Something came up with his son tonight, and he asked me to kind of pinch hit for him, so.
Okay.
So Matt will be here next month, so.
Okay.
all right, so
Sorry,
back on
go
track.
on.
All right,
Sorry, go on. You say
All right, you threw me off. I was on a
I'm
roll.
sorry.
All right, so yeah, we basically completed renovations at Innovation Academy. All the paintings done in the buildings, both restrooms are operational. Waiting on one last element, which is the fencing under the stadium. To the contractor's defense, we keep changing our minds about how we want to lay it out. So I think we finally finalized that, so hopefully we'll get that scheduled and completed. But it is operational. The main soccer field is being used. It's being used on the weekends. Lacrosse is used in the lower field for practices. So we're excited that it is basically operational. The Greenway extension, if you don't know this, there is a temporary pathway now linking Union Hill sidewalk to the McGinnis Ferry sidewalk at Union Hill Park. You knew before sidewalk ended and there was this big space of no connection, and there was a sidewalk that ended on McGinnis Ferry coming from Forsyth County. Our friends at Public Works have built a temporary sidewalk connecting making a connection to Forsyth County's Greenway. So even though it's not permanent, you can walk from Roswell, which is their Big Creek Park, all the way into Forsyth County now. So that's pretty exciting that they did that while we're waiting on the McGinnis Ferry Road project that they're taking lead on. So that's really cool.
There's no crosswalk there, though, is there, to get across McGinnis Ferry, or a light? Is there a light
It
there?
is. It's operational.
Okay,
You just follow McGinnis Ferry all the way to Ronald Reagan.
okay,
There's crosswalks there.
okay.
So you stay on the south side of McGinnis Ferry till you get to Ronald Reagan.
Reagan.
And then you have to cross over Ronald Reagan and cross back over McGinnis Ferry. That'll take you to Halcyon on a wide, I think that's a 10-foot sidewalk there, so there is.
Yeah, and in Union Hill Park, the hockey rink is gone. You really have to see the impact that it's made. And really, the improvements that are made in that park in the last 6 weeks are amazing. And, it really sets up the, redevelopment of that park when the time is right. It really lays it out and kind of really, you can visualize what's going to happen, which is really cool. On to the park improvements and enhancements. The Norfolk Playground replacement has finally been completed. We put the finishing touches with landscaping. It looks really, really good. And it's getting used quite a bit. Already having to do a few repairs. That's how much it's getting used. The turf replacement at Turf 2 at North Park has been approved by council, and the installation is scheduled to begin the week after Thanksgiving, which is following the same basic schedule as Turf 1 we did a couple of years ago. We're excited about that. Sprint Turf is the vendor of record, and so we're excited to work with them again. And the North Park Bocce Ball, it is one of those projects that just keep going and going and going, but it's getting close to completion. And we hope to have a soft opening probably in November. We have to do a few more just adjustments to the block wall that's out there that's coming around. We poured an accessible sidewalk that people can come around the pickleball court, access the pickleball court, as well as a bocce ball. But we had to do a few more, the grade had to raise up a little bit more than we hoped to make it ADA accessible. So we have to come around and kind of extend the block wall around to the sidewalk just to kind of give it some stabilization. And then we'll do some finishing touches with the landscape as well. So really what happened was that project linked the completion of the pickleball vision, which was having some sidewalk across in the back, having a landing for viewing for pickleball, and the bocce ball, kind of linked those two together. So two things got completed at one time. But as I told Morgan, weather is really kicking our butt out there, a lot of rain. I don't know if I necessarily said that, but I'm going to say that tonight. So,
Well, I mean, the fact is, I think by the end of the first week of October, we had hit the average rainfall for October.
yeah, it's been insane. It's been one of the wettest falls that, I don't even know if fall's really begun. I mean, 80 degrees, still in short sleeves. But it's been a challenging, if you're doing anything as far as building something, it's been a challenging thing, a challenging fall, and actually a challenging couple of years.
How about the Eagle Scout? Did she get her badge, or what's that look like?
She did get her badge, and she will be. The plan is to, when we get this thing open and operational, the plan is to bring her and recognize her at the commission for a job well done. And also, if we decide to do any type of ribbon cutting, they'll be invited. So she did a tremendous job. I mean, I can't say enough about what she did and the work that they completed. I mean, the labor and the money she raised, it was close to $8,000 in the labor that she brought up to build it. They did such a good job, is why we're taking it to the next level, because it's more than, it's not your average Eagle Scout project. I'm just saying.
Not a bird house, huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
All right, enough of that. Wills Park, let's move on to that. The maintenance, the Wills Park site work for the maintenance shop and the equestrian center, as well as the equestrian arena build-out, is going to go to council to be awarded on October 18th.
Oh, you picked somebody. You got somebody.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very
It
good.
is done. We've handed it off to Public Works, who takes the lead on the construction side of things. We're excited about that. The maintenance facility building has been issued a building permit, and then that will follow suit as far as going out for a bid on its own shortly thereafter. So we're excited about that. That's going to finally pick up some traction, and maybe these construction projects will be completed in the first half of next year. So we're excited about that. In Park Services side,
Let me add one thing to that, and we do have funding for this as well. The finance department said that the equestrian project was an impact fee project, and so we were a little short in the budget, but we were going to make it. They're going to make it up on impact fees. So this project, which has been caught in molasses for the last 2 years, is finally coming to fruition. So we're real pleased with both the construction company that's doing the site work for us, as well as the equestrian center group that's doing the work. So everybody's pleased, including the Equestrian Foundation, who is our partner on this. Everybody's pleased, and really, I think the first 2 weeks of January, you'll start to see things happening out there, and that'll be exciting. And then they have 75 days to do the site work, and then I think it's 2 months to do the equestrian after that. So literally in the first quarter of next year, we could see this completion. So we're excited. Finally, somebody said.
And one last addition that's not on, not on the actual report. Matt wanted me to add at the tennis courts at Wills Park. They've added some windscreens over the last month, and they're going to be adding new backboards over the next few weeks. And I think you realize that they also added some pickleball lines for those that are casual players that want to come out and play. So all the courts have pickleball lines, if that they can come and play, and it really doesn't interfere with the lining at all. I think they did a really good job of choosing the colors. We really want to take advantage of the growing popularity of pickleball, and it doesn't look like it's just a fad. It's turned into a trend that's going to stay here. So. Moving on to park services, Eric just wanted me to let you know that fence repairs initiative is continuing. North Park is actually fields 1 and 2 are actually being completed this week, and basically we're just repairing the fencing that's just taken its toll from heavy use and and a successful program. So we're just trying to get that fencing to a point where it's safe and usable. Ball field renovations have also going to be going on at baseball renovations going on at Webbridge Park and at North Park, and it should be happening this month. Turf planing, some grading, normal field operation routine, and they're just take a lot of money to do these things. Laser grading and so forth. What they call turf planing, which brings the lips down and the transitions from the infield to the outfield to keep the ball from popping up and somebody getting hurt. So those types of things, which is normal. Also, we're working on service contracts. Eric wanted to let you know that Cumberland Landscape is now doing trash pickup for the downtown area. That's going to be on both sides. And he is pleased with the way things have started out with them. They've supported the 2 big events that's going on, and then daily operations, and they've done a good job. So hopefully that momentum will keep up. Also working to update our landscape and maintenance contract that's due for the first part of next year. So we're working on that to try to get a scope out and try to advertise for that new contract, which is a 5-year contract. And then we also have a fountain maintenance and restroom cleaning contracts. So all these things are coming in. So on top of our normal stuff that we do, we have a lot of administrative stuff to work on, and that's usually not our strong suit. So, but we do have great administrative support with Ellie and Ruby that help us get it done. So we appreciate them. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
So I'm just going to follow that up, because I think most folks don't realize that the Recreation and Parks Department handles all the trash in downtown. All 87 trash cans are downtown. Alpharetta, we take care of. Every fountain that you see, every water fountain you see from the corner there in front of the Welcome Center to the little ones on Canton Street, we handle all of that. We just had a link. If you came up in front of Kilwins and you notice there's some sidewalk torn up, that's because there was a leak at the fountain. Because it's linked to the fountain, it is our responsibility. So, just keep in mind, it's fun to talk about what's happening at the Arts Center, but, we have to remind ourselves daily of the tasks that we have that go unnoticed, thankfully. We hope that nobody notices the trash in downtown Alpharetta. We hope that nobody notices that the restrooms are clean, but those don't just happen. And, particularly as we're adding parks faster than we're adding staff. So I just publicly like to make that statement.
Was that Cumberland that was downtown this weekend?
Yes.
Picking up trash?
Yes.
What I saw, they did a heck of a job.
Heck of a job.
It's funny you say that. I noted that as well. I mean, they were busy, and I saw the same crew just
All night long.
yeah,
So.
yeah. It was visible.
That's great.
So I just dropped my trash, just
Just to make them pick it up.
See how long it would take?
I waited till I saw Morgan walk go by and hand it.
I guess it's my turn. I want to, I'm gonna go old fashioned here all night, to show you, and you're gonna be in the back. But I wanted to show you the 9 projects that are on the bond referendum and give you a chance to see visually what we have and to answer any questions you may have about the bond referendum. Because the bond referendum is coming up in a couple of weeks as part of the vote. I'm not trying to tell you whether to vote yes or no. I'm just here to share information with you. So the list are the 9 things that are, and these are in alphabetical order. The first one is the Alpha Loop. There is a total of $7,500,000 allocated for the Alpha Loop. Now, I can't tell you exactly where that $7.5 million is going to be spent. It's basically to buy property along the loop. See, here's the inner loop, and there is the outer loop. Okay, so that 7.5 will be used to acquire property and develop the Alpha Loop as it becomes available. So that's really, we don't have any place that we're looking, although what's the most important to us right now is the connection from Old Milton to West Side. That's high on the list, because we're almost through there. There's just one little section that we have to punch through. So I can't answer much questions about the Alpha Loop. That was just $7.5 million of the bond dedicated to the Alpha Loop, okay? Second thing on the list, and I'd like to go all the way through the list and then ask if you have any questions, we'll go that. Second thing on the list is the farmhouse property. The farmhouse property is located, I probably ought to take that down so it doesn't catch your eye. This is Georgia 400 in Old Milton. The farmhouse property is right here in the dotted line. That's where the first settlement of Alpharetta was officially made. That was the first post office, and Alpharetta was right there. And that property is owned. What you see in the dotted line is owned by the city of Alpharetta. So they have in the bond, there's $2 million to develop access to that property and to do whatever development we can at that point in time to restore. There's Kim is our resident authority on the farmhouse, but again, I'll still, Kurt's line is, you really need to go see this, to go down there and see, because as soon as you get down there, you can see where the walls were built, where the dam was built on that creek, trying to control that water. So that's the farmhouse project. Next on the list is Mid-Broadwell. Probably haven't got to spend a lot of time on Mid-Broadwell because it's one of the projects that's been on our list for a while. This shows the outer loop and the inner loop. The restroom is here. It shows parking. Playground is going to be a natural playground. If you want to see what the playground is going to look like, go in my office and I've got a good visual representation of what that natural playground is going to look like. But
You seen it?
there's a
You seen it?
$500,000 allocated for this, and so we'll be able to develop. That part in its entirety. Next on the list is Old Rucker Park. And again, now this is just a visual representation. We've had some community meetings. There's going to be some adjustments to this that'll come through the commission and into the council for approval. But this basically shows you what we would do. Here's the barn here to give you a little, to get you oriented. And then Rucker is right down here. And so it just basically puts an outer band of a walk, of a trail around it, as well as some components pertaining to the agricultural history of Alpharetta to make it usable. But what we like about this is that, for the most part, we're just giving access and parking and relating that park to be what that is, where that park is going to be. So there's no playground plan for this park. There's no huge picnic pavilion. There's some smaller individual picnic pavilions that are being there. But for the most part, the farm is going to be what will be the showcase there in Old Brook. Okay. Next on the list is the turf at Webb Ridge. what we call the upper field at Red Ridge. It's just a huge grass area. You can see that. These two pictures, all 5 of these pictures were taken on the same day, folks, because I took them, so I know they were. So this shows you what this field looks like after rain. Basically unusable for several days. And this is the lower field that was turfed 3 or 4 years ago. And you can see you can play on it like that. So again, the bond referendum would allow us to take this and turf the whole field so it would be usable all the time. And this would, according to Doug Yearwood with the group, would be like adding 4 soccer fields to our inventory. Next on the list, let's see, is Union Hill. And so this is just the diagram that we have for Union Hill. If you remember, we did this, in September of 2020. This shows the covered arena staying, but it shows activation of the rest of the park. There is, for here, $3.2 million allocated for Union Hill, but that does put a greenway connection through our woods to Kimball Bridge Road. And if you see that creek, that means there's got to be a bridge going over the creek, and the cost goes up significantly on that. But I really think that Union Hill has the potential of being one of those parks that really comes into its own. When we turn this into an event facility, we get this place activated, it can be a showcase park. So Union Hill. Next on the list is Waters Road on Kimball Bridge. This is a nice little diagram that we had drawn up. Easiest way to describe this, it's Windward Park and Cogburn Road put together, put on the map. That's what it is. And Mid-Brawler. They're going to all have a playground, they're all going to have restrooms, they're all going to have limited parking, they're going to have trails, and we're going to leave the rest, as much of the park, the way it is as we can. Okay? Get close. We have 2 left. The Equestrian Center in Wills Park. This is a $5 million part of the bond referendum. Of course, that would be matched with $5 million from the foundation. And it basically builds out all of these arenas and replaces the barns. It's going to be close whether we can replace all the barns with $10 million. It just kind of really depends on what happens with the economy, so whether or not we can do that. The key is that we're going to get a template for these barns, and then it'll be the same template. It looks like we're building a lot of barns, but they're all going to look the same, they're all going to function the same, and be the same. So that will cut down significantly on some of the costs. Okay? And then the last thing on the list is $6 million for the completion of the Wills Park, or not completion, for the further development of the Wills Park master plan, with the key areas being the entrances to the 2 parks, where we really want to do a gateway kind of entrance to announce that this is the downtown park, this is our, if you will, our flagship park here in Alpharetta. We really want to concentrate on that spine that goes through the park to just make it a pleasant experience. Again, not putting down more asphalt or more concrete, just taking what's there and enhancing it. We're going to have to redo the dog park because the dog park is just tired. It just needs help. As is Wacky World, Wacky World, the playground. What's the playground? Right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right here. It really needs to be replaced. Here, it's a 20. Now listen to this. This is a 23-year-old wooden playground that was designed to last 15 years. You go back and ask them how long, it's a 15-year playground. So it's going to have to come out. Now, we can build back a community playground, a community-built playground. You might want to do that. What we have planned is that we're going to save all of like we did at Web Ridge. We're going to save all the plaques, we have people's names on it, where the kids drew on it, and we're going to display it somewhere in the playground. But the playground itself is just tired and it's just old.
But not the section I built. It still looks fine. I check on it every once in a while.
Mine's been replaced.
Yours has been replaced?
Yeah, so it's, and I know that there's gonna, that's a reaction that we're gonna get.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to replace it. Just like the restroom, we wouldn't wanna, the restroom at Wacky World, you don't wanna take that and make it better. You wanna take it out.
We have to be rid of the restroom, yeah.
And so, yeah, that would be
But
one of the first things we would do is that restroom. That's a very high priority for us.
I know,
So-
but you know who
and that's,
votes these
that's
days in
$6 million
Alpharetta? It's
on
all
that,
us
which
old.
was a grand total of 29.5. And I know I went through them real quick. Shouldn't have been too many surprises to anybody, but I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have about any of those projects now or later.
Clarification on the farmhouse park. What side, is it on the northeast side?
Northeast side, yes. And I'd be glad, again, it'd be better if you wanted to go and look at that, if you call me, because I know where to park and I know how to get down there. Because if you don't, you might fall into the briar patch or fall off the wall or something, so.
So I was under the impression that we owned all that land where that creek is kind of from Webb Bridge to Old
No,
Milton along
we do not.
400. We don't.
We don't own it all, no.
Oh, because initially I thought the plan was to maybe park people on Webb Bridge and you would take a little trail, you would come down. No.
That was the initial plan, and it's not out of the realm that we couldn't get easements because it is property that can't be used for anything else. So easements and access easements and those kind of things could certainly be gotten, but right now, all we own is what's in that dotted line.
I see.
So we still gotta work all that out.
One other question, the turf at Webb Bridge, absolutely needed. I mean, years ago was witness to a Mudfest soccer game, which, transferred itself into the minivan. But that drainage, I mean, obviously they have a plan for it, but that's a big part of the cost of that.
Yes, it's a large part. Yeah, we have $1 million allocated for that.
Site, wow.
And so, yeah, well, drainage is a huge part of every one of these projects, but yeah, it's kind of like when we got at the town green. It's a huge part because you've got to make sure that you're handling that storm water correctly. So,
Yeah.
and right now it's not being handled correctly because it is just running off and all this, that, and the other. So,
Yeah, the pictures were dramatic. 30 minutes after rain on the lower field, you're back on.
yeah,
And it's wet, but no puddles, no anything.
Right.
Does a great job.
Morgan, what is I wasn't a big fan of turf fields till I watched what's happened at City Green up here, and now I'm a big fan of turf fields and stuff because that thing's held up just tremendous. They've done a great job. But what's the cost to turf a football field, and what do you think the lifespan is?
so the lifespan on a turf field is predicted to be 12 years. So we have a replacement program to try to replace them every 10 years because we know that 12 years is the life, but the last 2 years is it starts to get worn. So we are on a replacement program where every 10 years we will replace it. If you replace it every 10 years, usually then you don't have to worry about drainage and all. It's literally like replacing the carpet in your home. You just pick it up and put the new carpet down. I know you didn't ask this question, but I'm going to answer this question, is that if you take that 10-year lifespan of that turf and you go to the 10th year and you replace it, the cost of replacing it is less than what you would have paid for maintenance on the grass for those 10 years. And that is just, those are, when it's dollars and cents, you can take the dollars and cents out. Isn't either one of those cheaper or more expensive than the other? At the end of that time, of the lifespan, it's about the same. But the playability is what we like about on our turf fields. It's just consistent, and we can play a lot more on them.
I mean, just City Green up there, I think you probably told me one time they spent almost $100,000 in 3 years trying to keep grass
Yes.
up there. And it's just not gonna happen.
No, it's not. At Town Green, it was, we would not have grass. We would have to move the stage that was on Town Green for Wironwood this year could not have been on the green because if you remember, it rained up until Thursday before Thursday night it was raining, Friday morning it wasn't, and it had rained a whole week ahead of time. So had we had the town green, we would have probably had to cone it off because it would have not been usable. So,
Oh, that's not true. You'd have put them where the fountain is, just on the cement of the fountain. The people
No.
sitting there would have been
In mud.
wet, in mud,
Yeah.
but the
oh yeah,
performers.
yeah, but the stage would have had to been moved because you wouldn't have put people out on that grass. We wouldn't have wanted people on the grass after a week's worth of rain. We wouldn't have.
I'm not loving that grass. You know I hate that grass.
I know.
No, I hate it.
I wasn't expecting to change your mind tonight. Any other questions about I've got one other thing, if I've answered all the bond questions. We talked about the softball MOU with Milton. It's the young girls that came to the commission and we, they wanted us to talk about it. Well, to be honest with you, we've been talking about it. You heard the commission loud and clear to try to work something out. So now we are set on the 25th of this month to take to council an MOU between Milton and the city of Alpharetta for softball and lacrosse. Basically, Milton has a lacrosse program for both boys and girls. We have a softball program, and we're going to treat everybody like citizens of the cities for those two sports. So we're going on the 25th to Mayor and Council, and we feel good about it. And Milton is going to be hopefully tracking at the same rate on that. So we're really excited about that opportunity, particularly because it's going to be good for both of the programs, and we're going to be able to do what the commission said real loud and clear. Let's just let the kids play, and so we're really excited about it.
It's a great step.
Been a lot of work behind the scenes to get there. Any other questions, comments?
I have just an off topic. I saw on the wire in the Atlanta Business Journal, Alpharetta, in lights and just the rebranding of downtown. And I think that's run by like the chamber, that was the spokesperson. How does that impact the recreation department and responsibilities, et cetera?
No, it doesn't have any impact. That'll be James and his group. They'll probably, I think it's they're kind of transitioning from Alpharetta, the technology city of the South, to Alpharetta, a city connected. I think that's the new tagline. So as they're working their way through that, James Drinkerton, as the assistant city administrator, they'll give us that information that they want us to print, but it won't have any impact on us other than like printed material and social media. So using that tagline.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morgan?
All right. If no other questions or comments, can I get a motion to adjourn? Second. All in favor?
Yep.
Hi.